Hello everybody, how you doing? And welcome to another one of our videos involving Destiny 2. So, I am a new player that is being introduced to Destiny 2, and there's a couple of very interesting things that I really would love to push forward to the newer generation of Destiny 2 players, like myself, who are starting to play. Now, as you see here, we are running a couple of the quests, a couple of things that are going on. But I want to show you all one of the main things I kind of learned about joining and seeing this stuff. So the map here is a lot different than a normal map, and there's a lot of different stuff that is going on here. Now, the main thing I will say about this map is that you'll see that there's little emblems by the planets when you are playing. Now, what these emblems are the actual expansions that you're involving and kind of going forward and seeing. So right now we own Lightfall, and we also own the Witch Queen, which is right here. As you can see, you don't see an emblem here for Witch Queen, but here you do, because we haven't really done anything on that yet. So when you kind of go through and you're looking at it, you might think you have access to stuff, but you don't actually have access to stuff, because there's a lot of stuff here where I was like, oh, I think I have access to this, and then I kind of look around, and then I was like, oh no, I don't have access to things. So it took me a little bit to realize what I do and don't have access to. For instance, if I go here to the moon and then I try to go here, I don't, because I don't have access to this, or I don't have access to that. And I'll kind of tell you generally what it all is. Say Shadowkeep, I don't have access to it. So I kind of wanted to go through it and see kind of how things are done and how things operated. Now, one of the more interesting things that I ended up learning about was the fact that when you start playing this game, you actually do not have your second and your third subclasses. So when you're going through and you're kind of learning about your subclasses and things like that, what you're going to want to end up doing is you're going to want to end up learning those subclasses. You're going to want to end up going to Ikora to learn those. So while we're going to do this, we're going to go fly over to Ikora, and we're going to take a look and see if we have access to it. Now, the old way that it used to be done was you just get them through the story, you get your second class, your third class, so on and so forth, and it worked out really, really well. Now you end up having to go to her, and you'll have access to it. But the way you do it is you have to do kill quests and things along that nature, so that you end up having those. Now, each quest, when you end up doing it, it's mostly involving the factor of going to, like, using arc weapons to, get your arc stuff, your void stuff to get your void stuff. I'm going to take a look here. This is a brand new Titan that I made. Hunter that I made, so that I can end up going through and kind of giving everyone a look and seeing how this brand new thing has changed. So let's take a look at this here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come through. We're going to take a look here. This kind of tells you what's going on. Look at the timeline. I'll tell you what's going on. Talking about Cade's fate. Now see, we have access here to multiple different subclasses. And those are not the quest you're looking for. This is the light kit that I was talking about, that you're going to get one free pretty much class that you're pretty much starting out on. So, you could play as whichever way you want. You get, a bunch of the standard stuff. So I'm just going to take the gunslinger for now. And what ends up happening is that we get access to all the solar stuff. So we have access to being able to upgrade and things like that, which is vastly different than the way we ended up having them before, where you were just handed everything as you were kind of going through the whole entire story campaign and so on and so forth. And also, if you notice, each one of these abilities, when you go through, you actually have to upgrade them, spending Glimmer on each one. These are the regular supers. These are, 7,500. Then you got your class abilities, which are about 1K. Your melees, which is about 3K. Your movements, which I think is, 3K also. Your grenades, which are 3K a piece. And then these are the big stuff. Your aspects are 5K. And then these are your fragments, which are 25K a piece. So you're kind of going through that part of it. Now, for some reason, you should be getting another 2 quests here to do this portion of your quest. One of them is going to be called Way of the Warrior, and the other one is called Trapper. So you end up kind of having to do that. So Trapper would be you having to kill X amount of people using Void and using a Void gun, whereas, you know, Way of the Warrior is you're using arc weapons to kind of unlock that portion of it. And this is very different than the way it was before, because you get to pick and choose your items that you're kind of going through when you're kind of using everything. So, you know, you can use your solar, this is your aspects, your fragments, you have to equip those. And most of the time, you know, they are all assistants to them. So you kind of have all that stuff together. Now, like I said, it's pretty interesting that, you know, you don't have access to that stuff, but you can, you know, go through and see how that goes. Now, when you're going through this and you have your quests, it'll actually show up here that you have those quests. So I don't have the access to them yet. It's because I didn't go far enough through the main storyline to kind of do that. But you'll have that. We'll have that ability very soon. So it's kind of a very interesting little thing that I learned when we were starting this. Now, the other thing, right now, since we are in the portion of in between seasons from Lightfall to Into the Light, Into the Light is another portion here. And if you go there, right, in your destination map, you go to the Hall's Champion and you go there, there's actually a guy there that's going to give you 1800 gear right from the start. Now, the 1800 gear is pretty much on par with everybody and anyone when they are kind of going through stuff. But nobody tells you about this, and it's a very interesting catch-up mechanic to get you like right then and there, right to the start. So we're just going to fly there real quick so I can show you where it is as we get through there. Now, I started doing a bunch of my story quests, and I had a lot of problems with them, and I didn't know what was going on, and I realized my light level was too low. And then I was talking to a friend of mine who was like, yeah, you ding dong, you should really go and check Shaxx here and talk to him. So there, right here, as you can see, you know, is Shaxx. It's just chilling over here. And then there's this chest just chilling over here on the right. It's not this one, this one. You go over there and you just approach it, and it gives you 1810 gear. Right off the bat. And from there, once you have everything in your inventory, it'll disappear, and then you can just go in, equip, 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 equip. What's it called? Boom. See, they even give you like this legendary shotgun, which is pretty nice. That. Kinetic pulse. Boom. 1816 right off the rip. So it's kind of interesting that they have that. And you kind of get it really quick. And then over here is another guy, which they don't have labeled. He has, you know, a couple of really nice abilities and really a bunch of cool things you can get here just by doing the bounties and the quests for Shaxx, which is pretty nice to do. So yeah, nothing too crazy, but it was very, very interesting. I'm planning on doing another video about the way that this is done, the way that the quests are, because they're actually pretty confusing if you don't know how this operates. So you'll end up seeing this in the near future, that there's going to be a quest video. So anyway, thanks again, everybody, for hanging out and checking out this video. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit the sub button here on YouTube. Check us out on Twitch every single Monday through Friday. We usually play a bunch of different games. It's either shooting games, World of Warcraft, or whatever else you might see. I greatly appreciate everyone for checking out the video. I love you all. Dream big, keep gaming, Have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye, everybody.